back to another episode of Kate and Isaiah Living Large. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Kate.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about bad habits. Do we replace them? Do we ditch them? Are they not that bad? Maybe? I don't know. But before we get started, what's new? What's the haps? Anything going on coming up for you that you want to plug?
Yeah, actually, I have to take a good hard look at my calendar because I've got a few away gigs coming up for the month of April and into May. A couple of overnights are going to the hot towns of Miramichi and Bathurst.
Going to the Michi?
Going to the Michi, and then going to Charlottetown in May.
Ooh.
And it's coming in hot, like lots of stuff on the horizon. I realized that I had been about a month off of comedy, no gigs, and had some other stuff to take care of. And I had been on as we talked about ad nauseum, I'd done quite a run January into February. And so went from nothing for February 14th till about just last week or 2 weeks ago.
Whatever
time
is a thing.
And so I'm excited to get amped back up and refreshed, do a little bit more writing.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, not a whole lot. We do have the beer run coming up in like just over a month from the time this comes out. So
yep.
We are coming close to that 5K. I think I've convinced some other people to actually do it with us.
Oh, that's good. Like who?
I think I've convinced my cousin and his new girlfriend to do it with us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are they okay to come in last, or they just walk ahead?
Yeah, they were like, yeah, well, we'll just walk it.
Okay, because we're going. Oh yeah, we have a goal to be fast.
You set the goal of an hour.
Yeah, I did set the goal of an hour.
You're crazy.
I know.
Mm.
If we finish, I'll be happy.
That is the true goal, is to finish.
Yeah, if we finish, I'll be happy. And we will finish.
That's right. That is right.
I didn't say that a year ago. I was very open with how I was feeling with everything last year.
Yeah.
But I feel differently this year.
Nice. But yeah, I think let's just get into our topic. Let's talk about bad habits. Should we ditch them? Should we keep them? Should we replace them? So why don't you guys start on the topic?
Yeah. So the reason I prompted this topic is because it was Saturday night last night before recording this episode. And as I mentioned, I'm doing the Weight Watchers Point thing, and I'm going to the gym again, and I'm feeling pretty good. And what I've known about myself previously is that if I go off the rails in any way, like if I crack a bag of chips, like, well, F it. I'll just like also have ice cream and licorice. Like, who cares? Okay. And then fall completely off the wagon.
Yep.
Now, in saying that, I've been trying to think about so last night was in that mode. I was going home after being at mom and dad's house, and I didn't have any plans. Things I knew I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go out and drink, which was often what I would do. I didn't want to go just sit at a restaurant because it was going to be ultra busy last night for reasons unrelated to the timing. Because it was like the weekend before St. Patrick's Day weekend is when we were recording this. And I was just like, that's not my scene tonight. I just want to go home and watch movies, but I do want snacks. And so I thought to myself, what I normally would do is buy a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Or something, or nachos or something like that. And I was like, no, I'm going to go get some healthy snacks. So I ended up buying veggies and dip and some guacamole and salsa and really healthy sawdust tasting crackers. Okay. They're called Rayavita or whatever. And they do the trick, but they're not chips. Now, in saying that, last night it was great. I felt great about it. But would I have been better? I had this conversation with myself in my head. Would I have been better to just been like, no, you don't need snacks. Just go to bed or go for a walk or some other thing, or accept that I want a snack while I'm watching TV on a Saturday night but try to make healthier choices, or just eat the damn bag of chips.
So I honestly, I think this kind of goes back to the conversation we had with Aaron around Overeaters Anonymous.
Right.
When she talked about red foods versus yellow foods versus green foods. So
yeah.
The foods that you once you start, you can't stop. The foods that you're kind of borderline, and the foods you're fine with. And I think that kind of goes back to this where I think it's okay to have a treat. I don't think there's anything where that. Otherwise, what are you doing? Right. Cause like it is not sustainable for you to not have something you're going to not enjoy. You should enjoy things, right? Like life is important. Life is short. You should enjoy life. Yeah. I think either replacing it with something you like, something else you like or an healthy alternative to that thing you want, right?
Right.
Is good. Like chips, you can find other types of chips. I like those Quest chips. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah,
they're expensive.
They're expensive,
but they're good. I think they're a pretty decent replacement if you're looking for a healthy alternative to chip, or banana chips or something like that, right?
Yeah. Now I've been in situations. So last night was a great example of I wasn't craving anything in particular.
Yep.
I just wanted a snack.
Yeah.
I wanted something to snack on while I was watching TV. It's a habit, and I was hungry too, like because I had a good supper, but an early supper, and it was reasonable for me. And based on what I had eaten yesterday, it was reasonable for me to want to consume more calories, and so that was all fine. And I wasn't like I didn't have a particular craving. If I had a particular craving for like Cool Ranch Doritos or something,
yeah.
Well, I could eat around that as much as I want, but I'm still going to want Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah. I mean, a big thing for me is pop. I really like pop, but I found out that I like the carbon, and that's why I switched to bubbly and that stuff, because that's what I like. I like the carbon flavor, the taste. So that's why that bubbly really works for me, because it's got good flavors and I get the hit that I'm looking for.
Yeah, there's actually a new one. It's a PC brand, and it's a strawberry citrus.
Okay.
It's really good.
Interesting.
Just FYI on the bubbly waterfront, because I never thought I was a huge pop fan. Every so often I need a hit of Diet Coke. Usually caffeine related, not wanting coffee anymore, etc. But that's like once in a blue moon. But I know that if I start that habit, I can keep doing it every day. Right. But it's an easy one for me to break. But like eating at night is a great example of like I've heard my mom say that over the years. She's like, I'm just going to stop eating at 7 p.m. every day, no matter what. And
that's crazy. I know I could not do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy necessarily, but it certainly wouldn't work in your current lifestyle, because you're working till 8 every day. You're going to come home and have supper at 8.
That's true.
But it's not to me, a time associated thing is not necessarily the right answer either for me.
I think it's, I don't see it as for at least if it was me, it's not sustainable.
No.
That's that's what I think. That's one of the biggest key things is the thing you're going to do sustainable.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think completely cutting out snacking in general, I don't think is sustainable.
No, I don't think so either. And because there's, some people have said over the years, oh, you shouldn't eat at night because it just stays with you all, whatever. And I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, because ultimately, if you're putting yourself in a calorie deficiency, it shouldn't matter when you eat.
Right.
But maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist.
What is this? A school for ants?
I don't even know what that's from.
Zoolander.
Oh.
But yeah, putting yourself in a calorie deficit, no matter what time, shouldn't matter. But we don't really know for sure.
Or if you're a person who craves dessert after every meal.
Yeah, I think within reason. I think if you are gonna sit down and eat a whole bag of chips, I think you should think about, okay, if that's something you want to do, that's fine. I think then you have to think, okay, what other things am I doing to consider that my end meal is going to be a bag of chips?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so you almost have to plan. Oh, that's actually a good point. Is if you're like craving something and you plan for it, well, that's fine. And that is not to be like Weight Watchers team player. That's the program I'm on right now.
Yeah.
But that is the beauty of Weight Watchers, because you can look up like, how many points is this going to be? How many do I have? And like, it's designed for that kind of latitude.
I know a guy who, by know a guy, I mean I watch a guy on stream.
I know a guy.
He's currently going through a weight journey himself. And one of the things he always has is an ice cream sandwich. Every night he always has an ice cream sandwich. So he plans a lot of his diet around knowing that at the end of the night, he is going to have one ice cream sandwich.
And he enjoys it.
Right. That's kind of his treat, right?
Yeah. It's this whole thing of like, and of like food reward too, like it's a treat, and it is a treat. But like, I don't know. I'm really struggling with it myself. These are all things that because I do it psychologically. I'm like, oh, this is a good food and a bad food, and it's a treat, and it's this and it's that. It's like, it's all just food.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but if you are trying to do calorie deficits and things like that, there are certain things you're just not going to be able to have, or you're not going to have as much of. So it is a treat. There's no way around it. You're rewarding yourself for something, and that's how people as mentally work is.
Yeah,
you're trying to reward yourself for something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point. I guess the other thing that I was thinking too is, if you find a healthier alternative to something, is it better to fix the actual habit? So here's a great, for instance, my mom discovered this recipe called like 0 point pumpkin pie or 1 point pumpkin pie or something. And all it is a can of pumpkin, a couple of eggs, some pumpkin pie spices, and a little bit of sweetener. I use stevia.
Yep.
Bake it in the oven, and my God, it's good. Tastes like pumpkin pie.
Okay.
And then like,
it sounds like it is just basically pumpkin pie.
Well, it is, except it's way less sugar, no butter, and no crust.
Right.
And those are the things that cause, and a little bit of milk in it or whatever. But like, it's really good. And I ate it the first time, had a piece of it, and it was delicious. And then I made it at home, and then I ate like 2 bowls in a row, because it's just a vegetable. It's pumpkin. Like, that's all it is. It's pumpkin and eggs, which all like 0 point foods. And so, but then I made myself sick on because I ate so much of it, and it wasn't bad for me, but that compulsion was still there.
Right.
To be like, this is delicious. Let's like feed. So what I kind of thought is like, am I better to try to just be like, wow, should we address why you need to compulsively fill your gutter?
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, I think to be fair, I think there is in weight loss and food, I think there's a therapy component that needs to exist in there. I think that depending on who you are, some people just, that there's some extra thing that makes you want to eat.
Right.
And something that no matter how much dieting you do, how much you counting calories, how much work you put into it, without therapy, I think you're never going to resolve the true issue.
Right. And I have gone through therapy in the past on this particular issue, which is why I caught myself and I'm able to have this conversation. Otherwise, I would just be like, this is great. I'm losing weight, and I ate a whole 3 cans of pumpkin this week.
Yeah. So I think with that, I think replacing with a healthy option is always a better choice. If it's a sustainable and you enjoy it, like if it's something you're not enjoying, it's not sustainable. You're never going to keep it up.
Right.
But I think in the cases of, even if it's a healthy choice and you still find yourself overindulging in that choice and then going, oh, but it's healthy, I think that then there's a mental component 100%. To it. And I think, yes, I think either looking at trying to figure it out yourself or truly what needs to happen. And at that point is, talking to a therapist and figuring out
100%.
together why.
100%. For the record, the rest of that pumpkin stuff is still in my fridge. I haven't gone back to it yet.
Well, getting sick off of it doesn't help.
I wasn't sick. I just
hurt your belly.
Hurt my belly.
Hurt my belly.
And ultimately, there's a lot of fiber. I don't need to say more.
But yeah, I think but a healthy alternative is always the best option. Obviously, that's.
You think not, and I think the habit replacement sometimes is not a bad thing either. Like, if something becomes problematic, like if you're just eating for the sake of eating every night because it's your habit to watch a show and eat something, but you're not particularly hungry, I think assessing whether it's a necessary thing is also not a bad thing.
Yeah. I think assessing whether it's because you want to eat or I don't know. I enjoy eating, so like I think that if I'm enjoying eating, if I can find an alternative to that. But yeah, if I'm just grabbing a bag of chips because I'm sitting in front of the TV, that's a whole other thing. Right.
And for some people, that might be going from a big bag of chips to just having a little bag of chips there.
Yeah.
Like kind of doing it in stages, buying like,
Right. I found like the portion control is a big thing, right? Yeah. I found when I was eating a lot of chips, I liked buying the boxes of chips with smaller portions because I would eat a bag. I would just sit there and eat a bag. But the only reason I'm sitting there eating a bag is because I'm not consciously thinking about it. I'm just putting my hand in the bag and putting it in my mouth.
I'm notorious for over the last 20 years buying like one of those Ben and Jerry's ice cream things.
Yeah.
And then sitting in front of the couch and being full after like half of it.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh, is it even worth putting this back in the freezer? And then proceeding to eat the rest of it.
Yeah.
And like, that's not great.
Yeah, that definitely is not always the best option.
Yeah, and have done that and like can talk about it now and be like, that's ridiculous. But at the same time, still a thing I did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just candy. I'm really bad with candy.
Same. Candy, like to talk about Aaron's OA terms, candy is an absolute red food for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of everything, it is an absolute detriment. Like, I dream of candy. And there's nothing good about it. There are no redeeming qualities about candy. Like, I can justify a little bit of ice cream here and there. I can justify some chips here and there. I cannot justify candy. It is just plain horrific for you.
Yeah, it is, but I enjoy it. It's tasty, and I think that is something. There's something to be said about enjoying those things.
That one has no doesn't even make you feel full. It just doesn't.
No.
So what I did do on Friday night in my quest for snacks, Friday, because I had a quest for snacks Friday and Saturday night. I bought a bag of those Smart Sweets.
Yes,
they're a lot better.
Yep.
And because almost no sugar, which is her huge reason that candy is so bad. And I just bought one little bag because they're expensive. But it did the trick.
Nice.
And Kelsey, my sister, was telling me about, have you seen protein candy?
Yes, I've seen them.
Kelsey said they're really good. I haven't tried them myself, but she said they were excellent.
Yeah, I've seen them. I haven't tried them at all, but I have seen them around. I think that's when we talk about getting rid of things. I think that's the bigger issue, is that I think there are things that you enjoy. Like, I love candy. I like candy a lot. So I think for me to say I'm never going to have candy again, I don't think I could. That's not sustainable in my life.
No, and that's fine. And I don't necessarily think it's sustainable in my life, but I do have to be very careful. Well, I have the diabetes on top of it. So there is a much bigger risk for me having a little bit of candy than you.
But I think the key is not necessarily to completely eliminate that from my life, from your life, or my life, or whatever. But I think the key is to be able to regulate portion controls.
Yeah, I mean, but I know that I can't have, if you put a big thing of candy in front of me, I know that I know that I can't regulate that.
Right. So
it's no different than an alcoholic, to be completely honest.
So this works for me, and I know it probably doesn't work for everyone. Is if I had a big thing of candy, I would take a little bit of it and put it in a bowl and put the rest away.
Where is the way though? Like that would exist that would live rent free in my brain until it was all gone.
That's my ADHD brain. I forget as soon as it's away and out of sight. I can forget about it for a while.
My ADHD brain is like, where is it? But hyperfixation. That candy's got to get in my belly. Like I've had stuff at home when I'm not watching, which is sometimes, and have woken up in the middle of the night going, where is it? I need it, and gotten up and gotten it. Like it's actually. So my best with candy is gonna be one little package of Smart Sweets every so often.
Okay. Yeah. See, I could put it away and never think of it until the next time I open the drawer and I'm, I got candy.
Yeah. Not me. Yeah. That would not go away. That is consumed in its entirety.
I have a goldfish brain. It's fine. When it comes to that kind of thing, if I don't see it, it's gone.
Oh, it's not me. I know it's there somewhere. Yeah.
But I think ultimately, it comes down to the individual person on what you know about yourself, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think completely trying to eliminate something from your, like completely eliminating something is, I don't think that's a sustainable thing.
It isn't.
But if you can find healthier alternatives to that thing, I think that's the better choice.
100%. I also love grapes as much as I like candy.
Yeah.
There are also quite a lot of sugar in grapes, but there's a lot of fiber in them too.
It's true. But what kind of closing thoughts do you have?
Closing thoughts. I think that this was fun to talk about and interesting to talk about because it's pretty relevant and is kind of evergreen in that it's a constant struggle. Like maybe there'll come a day where candy, I can have one little fuzzy peach and that will be all right. But that today is not today. And I think it ultimately over the course of the conversation, I think it depends on the pattern of behavior. Like, yes, I think it's great to replace with a healthy snack. A, if it's going to work.
Yep.
And B, if it's because you're eating because you're hungry or because there's a reason to absorb calories. But if you're just doing it for the sake of the habit, maybe try just changing it up and not eating. If it's like, oh, it's 7:00 and I'm going to sit down and watch Wheel of Fortune and I eat a bag of chips every time I watch a Wheel of Fortune. Well, maybe that even if you just finish supper at 6:45, maybe that's not the answer. But if I'm really craving, like desperately craving ice cream right now. Well, there's no amount of plain Greek yogurt that's going to make that ice cream.
True. Frozen yogurt, though.
Yeah, frozen yogurt, sure, but that's not really that much better for you, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, like it depends on the situation. Like everything we talk about, it depends on the situation. What about you?
Very much so. Yeah, I think that's kind of the key. I think if you can try and find a healthier alternative, that's important. I think mental health is just as important to go into that. And I think going to therapy is important for anyone. So I think that also is a huge component of healthy living is mental health as well, which goes into that routine thing. If you're in a routine that typically is part of your mental routine and you need to do it because there's something mentally there for you. That's my thoughts. But where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Kate D on Instagram, and we're at Kate and Isaiah Living Large on Facebook.
And I am at Maritime Brews on all the social medias for my beer and politics takes, and at Tweak the Profit for all my video game and movie stuff. And of course, we still have the Buy Me a Coffee going if you would like to donate to that as well. If you are listening on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your podcast at, we appreciate you there. And if you can like, share, subscribe on that would be appreciative. And if you are looking to watch the videos, hop on over to YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, if you can like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff there, that is also appreciated. And of course, we do appreciate you listening for all these episodes, and we will see you next week. Bye.